Well, good morning. Great to have you back with us. This morning, we're going to carry on our series on the ghost of Christmas in the ghosts of Christmas in the Christmas Carol. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually finish it off this morning just because of how things have worked. We're going to look both at the ghost of Christmas present and of Christmas future, because we looked at the ghost of Christmas past last week and we saw how the past can shape our lives. But really, we should be looking to Jesus because history is his story and he shapes our lives. Our past is looked through the lens of Jesus. He always redefines maybe our mess ups, maybe our mistakes, things that have been done to us. He can shape it into something beautiful. So history is his story, and the past only defines us with the lens of Jesus attached to it. But let's look today at the other two ghosts and what message they have for us. Okay, so first, let's look at the ghost of Christmas present. And if we look into the story, this ghost comes straight after the ghost of Christmas past. It's a massive, giant, jolly, wearing green, the jolly green giant. Ho, ho, ho. Sorry, that advert just rang in my head when I was thinking about this. But Dickens describes him in that way, and he then takes Scrooge on this journey through the Christmas of that day that is going to be, and he looked at Bob Cratchit's house and how they had this really meagre meal, but they had joy with it, and the amazing hope-filled little tiny Tim who really melted Scrooge's heart. Then he stopped off at also his nephew's place and just realised how much fun he's missing out on and the family that he could be part of. So this ghost really brings the joy of Christmas to Scrooge. And I love the depiction of this ghost in A Muppet's Christmas Carol. I like the Muppet's Christmas Carol depiction of the whole story, really, but I love this ghost, this booming character. Come and know me better, man. I just love it. And I think one of the main messages this ghost maybe tells us over this Christmas period is God is calling us, come and know me better. It's one of the biggest challenges of faith today, I think. Not secularism, not evil or anything like that. I think it's distraction. We are a society that is so distracted. I don't know if you've had this kind of thing where you're sat having a conversation with someone, phone, either an email or a text comes in, you're distracted. I do my best now not to look, because that's just, it does seem a bit rude. I do my best not to look at the phone now, but you're distracted. You're trying to give your attention to the person, but then your attention is being diverted onto this other thing. And it feels as if all the things are competing. Everything is important. In reality, if everything is important, nothing is important. And that competing for our attention just puts it, we just can't concentrate on the here and now. We can't focus. And if we look at the Christmas story, those shepherds, they were up on the hill. It's in Luke 2, verses 8 to 20. They were up on the hill and they were focused just on one thing. They were looking after their sheep. And maybe we have a lesson there as well, don't we? That with that focus, they were able to receive that message that do not be afraid, for I am bringing you good news of great joy for all people. To you born this day in the city of David a Saviour, who is the Messiah, the Lord. they got to hear that message. And maybe the messages that we miss because it was born to you this day, now, not tomorrow, not yesterday. It was now, and they responded immediately. Can you imagine maybe that angel coming to you now? I just had that thought myself. If the angel came, how would I respond? Would I immediately respond and go? Or would I be, actually, I've got a 9 o'clock meeting. I've got this work to do. I need to pick up the kids. Can I go at 3 o'clock on Wednesday? Would that be okay? Because life is so busy and everything is so important, maybe we miss what is really important. Someone once compared our attention to God with bird watching in the woods. Because if you actually go to the woods, you could have this thought of you're just getting from A to B. Now, I don't know if you're like me, I do get this thing of if I'm going somewhere, I want to get there. And my focus is just getting from that A to B. And Christmas can be like that as well. It can be, I'm just getting from here to there, and I'm any obstacle, anything that I have to go through, I'm just getting there. Whereas actually, if you're going bird watching in the wood, you slow down, you listen out, and you might hear blue jays, thrushes, doves, all the other little creatures, woodpeckers, robins. The same woods that were an obstacle to you getting to be become alive with life. Do we in our lives get so distracted about getting to be that we forget the life that is in front of us? And I think if we go back to the story of Scrooge, he really was distracted in the present. He couldn't focus. He couldn't see the life that was there because he either focused on the past that was driving him to make more money, or he was focusing on the future. He was living in that ledger because he was just about the money, the people around him. Bob Cratchit was just a cog in the wheel of this money-making machine. And all the voices, all the life got drowned out by the distractions. We often find God where we don't expect. We miss those moments, don't we? If we're so concentrated from getting from A to B, like the birds that are on the bird watch, we miss those moments with God. And the shepherds in the story of Christmas, they weren't expecting to meet with the Son of God, were they? I'm sure they probably didn't feel worthy. They probably didn't think anybody was concerned about them. Especially God, his Son coming to earth. Why would he honour them with saying, "Come to me, know me better"? So, I believe the message of this ghost, this for us this Christmas, is God is beckoning us, come and know me better. And at the same time, it's maybe in the places we don't expect. Scrooge didn't expect such a meagre meal for his employee, but he didn't expect the joy that was there either. He didn't expect the welcome of his nephew, but didn't expect he would enjoy being there either. Let's not miss the overflow of life that is around us and hear that beckon call of God. Come and know me better. We get now to the final ghost, the ghost of Christmas yet to be, or ghost of Christmas future. Now, in most of the adaptations, you've got him like a grim reaper. Dickens describes him as this hooded black menacing figure. And he basically shows Scrooge a load of death, which is lovely, isn't it? Shows him scenes of businessmen discussing the death of a rich person. He shows him the death of someone causes people who owe someone money to rejoice. Shows him thieves trying to sell a dead man's clothes and bed materials and blankets and stuff. And then he finally stops at the house of the Cratchits and shows him that Tiny Tim had died. Scrooge then learns that the man whom everybody had been talking about was him. And he begs this menacing phantom that he's changed. What events have happened that night, they've changed him. He will honour Christmas. He will live the lessons that he's learned that night. And as it all fades, he finds himself in bed on Christmas morning. So that's the story with the ghosts. If we go now to the story of the actual real story of Christmas with Mary, young woman. I really have this question. Why does Mary say yes? Because it's a future she wasn't expecting. She wasn't expecting I would hope that she was believing and expecting the Messiah to come, that she was expectant in the promises of God, but she wasn't expecting to be the bearer of this promise. Scrooge wasn't expecting all this. He wasn't expecting his death. He didn't think that his death would be a blessing to people. And then he has this epiphany, this realization. He asked the question, are these the shadow of things that will be? Or are they the shadows of things that may be? He was really asking, does the future have to be so defined? Is it so shaped out for us? Or do we have a little bit of control over it? And we all ask that question at times, don't we? And to be honest, none of us know what is in the future, do we? But we do have something. We have hope. We have hope because God is with us. In Advent, Christians celebrate that God came, but we also hope in that he will come again. We are expectant, like Mary was with Jesus. We are expectant that he's coming. And just like Mary, there was this this medieval mystic, so Christian, but he said, Mr. Eckhart, he said this: we are all meant to be mothers of God. What good is it for me if this eternal birth of the divine Son takes place each year, but does not take place within myself? And what good is it to me that Mary is full of grace if I am not also full of grace? What good is it to me for the Creator to give birth to his Son if I do not also give birth to him in my time and culture? Really interesting words there. And it is this thing of being expectant this year. What are you expectant for? Scrooge receives that epiphany from the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Be. And while it's not explicitly mentioned in the text or said, that transformation seems like he's bearing God, isn't he? It's the spirit of Christmas. It's that thing of God has come and dwelt with humanity. Because when he awakens on Christmas morning, he goes, "Hear me. I am not the man I was. I will not be the man I have been. I will honour Christmas in my heart and try and keep it all the year." And I think that's as good a description of someone repenting as there ever was. As we move into unstable times, because we've had 2 years, nearly 2 years of COVID, and whatever might be ahead, there might be financial strains, maybe new strains of COVID, whatever happens. I think it's important to remember the stable time. Time spent in the midst of the Christmas miracle. Time invested in helping Christ be born in our hearts and in this world. If Ebenezer Scrooge, I know it's a fictional character, but we know of people that have had this, can be transformed from a greedy, horrible man to a generous philanthropist. Person who gives a lot of money away. I can never say that word. There is hope for us. Now, we don't know what the future holds. We don't know what's ahead of us. Unlike Scrooge, we don't get taken by a phantom to see what is in our future. But we do know this. We know that Jesus is there. Whatever we face in the future, God is there with us. That is the hope of Christmas. Jesus came, Emmanuel, God with us. And that's enough. It's enough to transform life. It's enough to give us hope. It's enough to be sure that we can face whatever we're going to face, because God is with us. So the Ghost of Christmas present tells us that God is beckoning us. Come and know me better. And maybe, just maybe, you might find me in places you weren't expecting. And the Ghost of Christmas future reminds us to be expectant of Jesus, being born in our hearts and in our time and in our culture. Because we have a hope. Because Jesus is there in the future. He will be with us. He is Emmanuel. So may God bless you over this Christmas. May God really let you hear him beckoning you. Come and know me better. Maybe his presence is in places you weren't expecting. And we have hope. Because he is already in the future. Whatever we face, God is with us. Be blessed this morning. See you guys.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let
So that's the end of the service. I hope you've had a really nice time with us, whether you're celebrating Christmas Day or this is New Year's Day or whenever for you. I'm praying that over Christmas and this new year, that God will bless you and that you will know him and you'll see him more clearly in your life. And if that's maybe a thing, you're watching this and you don't know much about this God stuff or this whole thing of church, and you've just switched us on and you probably don't even know why you've switched us on. If you want to know Jesus, you just have to pray a simple prayer. You just have to say, Lord Jesus, I believe you died and rose again, and I give you my life because that sacrifice deserves my life. You can pray it in your own words. You don't have to use mine, or you can pray whatever you want. You could say, God, if you're real, let me know. It's between you and God. But whatever, if you've prayed something, please let us know. We'd love to help you on a journey of faith that you've just started because you've prayed. Other than that, if you've got any questions or you need some help or anything, please message us, email us, contact us in whatever way you want to. We'd love to chat with you, help you, or do anything. Or if you've invited Jesus into your life, please contact us and we'll help you on that journey. So all I've got left to say is have a lovely Christmas, and you are invited. You're invited to be with us. Whatever you dress like, whatever you believe, whether you have doubts, whether you don't believe, whatever you think, feel, look like, you are welcome at our church. So 10:30 on a Sunday morning, if you're free and you want to be with us, you are most welcome to join. We'd love to have you with us. Right, be blessed, guys. Have a lovely Christmas and New Year's, and we're thinking of you. All right.
May the Lord bless you
and keep you.
May the Lord make his face shine upon you
and be gracious to you.
May the Lord turn his face toward you
and give you peace.